Hi, everybody. This is Tom with Culture Chap. And today you may think this is unusual, but I'm in praise of a mess on stage. I think that a lot of people are arranging their actors and their sets to be very pristine, and they're like, oh, it's a slice of life. I'm like, but is it? Because there's nothing out of place, and everything is sort of beige and ordinary, and you're not doing much. Um, I talk about color in other videos, and I talk about props and different things to give your set life. But what about a mess? A friend of mine in Austria, well, an acquaintance in Austria, we were talking, and we get along really well. I wish we did more projects together. But his is more operettas, and I don't really do that. I'd like to learn. And he'll get mad at me. I'm not going to tell you which one it is because it's his project, and we just talked about some things, and I didn't advise him, I just suggested. I gave away some ideas, which I think is good. The part of the operetta really celebrates female friendship, which is great. The woman of the house is very rich, and she's extremely good friends with her maid, which is great. And we love those kind of stories. If anyone watches Downton Abbey, we love that Lady Mary is really good friends with her maid. But the lines sort of support like the husband is suspicious of what? Of their female friendship? Not really in the story. He just sort of is wanting the same kind of talks and intimacy and friendship with his wife that she has with her maid. And that's all there is to it. There's not much more depth there. So I said, wouldn't it be funny if this maid, who's mostly dressing her madam, her mistress, was a slob? What if she was the worst maid in the world and they didn't care? And every time the husband comes in, you're using the same lines, but they're caught, eating bonbons. The maid is pretending to work when she's not. And he's like, pretending? I'm like, yeah. How about she's sewing something? She just grabs the first costume close to her and she's sewing something, but there's no needle and thread in her hand. She's just doing the motions. She's just, cutting and doing these motions with nothing in her hand. He's like, the audience won't believe that. I'm like, but the husband does. And you want to build up the comedy of him being so jealous of them being buddy buddy and spending so much time together. So why not that? Why not that? They'll see. All the lines still fit, but what if she's the worst maid in the world and they just gossip and sit around all day? What would that be like? That'd be much more fun. And it doesn't interrupt any other parts of the story. It's just like that. Now, they went for it and then they had some problems. And I said, the thing about mess on stage is that you do want to clean it up for other scenes. So it's got to be easy mess to clean up. So for this instance, it was mostly costumes. I said, it's got to be the big stuff. It can't be like a scarf, 20 scarves here and there. It's going to be the big stuff, a big dressing gown, a big dress, a big this. So when she picks it up, or they both pick it up, which is funny, that the mistress is picking up her own stuff while she employs this maid. Nice. That it happens quickly. The actors still have things to do. So you're giving the actors things to do on stage, which is terribly important. Often we don't give them the right kind of props or enough props or props that need attention to really convince you of the scene or of the comedy. So I think that needs to be what it is. Now, if you have other kinds of mess on stage, it needs to be like things that are arranged on some sort of flat surface, cardboard, which breaks, a flat piece of board or something that you just remove the mess immediately. Immediately. It's like the sink full of dishes. Well, on stage, that's not a sink full of dishes. The sink is full of something else, like foam, and there's a bunch of dishes that are plastic because they have to be lightweight on top glued together, and they're just ruffling with a few of the loose dishes to make the sound. So that can be removed in case you want to do something else with that scene, in case you want to do something else with that set. Okay? And cleaning up quickly is good for your audience, good for your transitions, good for your characters, When we clean well. That's good. And it can be whisked off stage immediately when you need that room, that scene to be something else, or perhaps a different kind of mess. You know, what if the maid had a bunch of frilly white and pink things on the floor? Maybe it's under things. And now there's a discussion about like Madame's dress, Madame's evening dress. And that's just this big pile of stuff on the floor, but it's easy to pick up because it's one dress, one set of gloves, one pair of heels, that kind of thing. Quick, quick, quick. And we get it dressed really quickly. That works. You know, people, you have to still be in line with your character. You see what I mean? When she cleans up well, but she spends most of the day eating and gossiping. You know, that's a funnier scene. I like mess, but I like it when you can get rid of it quickly. Quickly. And refrain from real disgusting mess. Candy wrappers and food stuff and things. Because people start to think about, believe it or not, scientists say, people start to think about the smell and the rot from foodstuff mess that they can see on stage. And it takes them out of it. If they can see empty takeaway containers that still have food in it, that you thought was clever of your props to do food in it, do you really need that for your scene? Maybe not. A carefully arranged mess still gets the point across. You know, this is what this area is like. And whisk it away if you need to. All right, that was a short video, but worthy of talking about. Next time we'll talk about distressing your stage, distressing the paint on your stage, or just aging it up a little bit. Because not everything is a pristine, freshly painted wall, which is what a lot of people are doing when they're doing sets that are cheap, quick, and they haven't decided to do anything about aging it, making more interest in the paint, making more interest in the props. Things get worn in a little bit. It doesn't ruin your set to do that. Just like mess. The mess against a clean paint that's slightly aged, this gets your point across. Whisk it away, it's all clean. Did I say whisk it away? I keep saying it. All right, well, that's enough for today. Please like and subscribe and come back for more. Thanks.